The following is a YSP newscast presenting the news while it happens, after it happens, and of course before it happens, and will also make it happen. Be advised, some of the quotes you're about to hear may have been taken out of context to fit this broadcast. Coming down in 3, 2, and 1.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Elliot Spaulding, and here's what's happening. Finally, after a lengthy period of time and much anxiety, Yeshiva's summer program, better known as YSB, has begun for some 120 students. YSB News went to find out what it is about YSB that makes all these terrific children look forward to the opportunity of being a member in this very popular program. So we asked a few students if they're able to describe their feelings about YSB in one word.
All I could say is education.
Inspiration.
Concentration.
Frustration. Let me tell you what, anything but a vacation.
I don't know. Is your word overlearningation?
No, darling, there isn't a word overlearningation. However, YSB News wants the viewers to see what it is that has the boys filled with anticipation, participation, and let me take my chances. How about over having fun nation, all through the day in YSB?
אבל יא, נדע אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים, שהחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה, רב אמונה.
Good morning, all Talmidim and staff of YSP. This is the beginning of another beautiful day outside. It is time now to say Meida'ani, wash Nagavasar, go downstairs to the mikveh, and get some snacks, because in 45 minutes Chassidus begins.
Attention, all Talmidim of YSP, your attention please.
All right.
Lights out right now. Lights out right now. At this moment, all Talmidim should be in bed, ready to fall asleep. And this concludes another exciting day of YSP and brings us one step closer to our future adventures. Good night, staff. Good night, Talmidim. Good night. YSP.
Well, that's all the excitement through today, but the fun doesn't stop there. Here's a quick check on some of the late night highlights. You never know in which room the late night will land. Talk about landing. How does it feel to have someone land on you?
Rather painful.
I'm sure you're all wondering what kind of game that is. It's called Buck Buck, which is played by all. In case you're wondering, what is the trick for certain kids to survive this game?
So that's why I'm in the front.
And don't think it's just another game for the biggest boy.
But all I gotta say is my back, it's killing me. I mean, I got 15 guys jump on my back every single time. I can't handle it, you know?
All but one late night were planned perfectly, but there was a late night that did not go as planned for an unlucky few. Let's go to Mushy Cohen to hear some of the long story.
Thank you. It happened in this room last night. We got up 1:30 in the morning and started making popcorn. Well, actually, we didn't make popcorn until about 2 o'clock. And made about 6 batches. And about 10 minutes before we were about to go to sleep, somebody walked into the room. I went over there to put some towels back by the door so no light should escape from the bottom. And I heard the door shaking. So I said, all right, everybody get into bed. In the midst of all the rush, we shut off the light, but forgot to turn off the popcorn machine. The floor was covered from wall to wall in popcorn. And, actually, when he walked in, the entire room was laughing. We were laughing our heads off, and he asked us what was so funny until, And then he said, you have 3 minutes to make this room spotless. Every piece of popcorn off the floor. So we started to get to work. Marshall took the broom, and he started sweeping while we all discussed it. Well, we were busted. But, busts are busts and busts are busts. That's the story of the popcorn party that didn't go out as planned, although we had fun. I'm Rishi Cohen from room 411.
Now that we have seen why YSP is such a great program, one may wonder, how was it achieved? Well, it's quite obvious that throughout YSP history, it has been fortunate enough to have one of the best staff around. And this year is no different, with a determined learning staff and devoted counselors. We may, however, have found a weakness in this year's counselors, and that would be...
I think in order to be a good counselor, you gotta know how to keep a serious face.
This is a charge that the counselors confute. So we put them to test to see if they can go from a smiley face to a serious face and keep it there for 10 seconds. The sports season cannot begin until the rosters are complete. How will the teams be divided? Through a draft, with the order being decided by a lottery. Let's go to our draft expert for the full report.
Draft day has finally arrived, which put an end to all the waiting and speculating. All were there for the commissioner's speech, which was followed by naming of the captains. And oh, there were surprises, and no one was more surprised about Sandy Dabrowski being captain than himself. There were some in attendance that did not want to see who was next. You think Adi Goodman thought he was next? Well, there was another surprise. He was not appointed captain. After all the rules and captains were established, it was lottery time.
The 12th pick, and of course the 13th pick in Tufshinam Zion's draft goes to Gustav, which is...
The time we got to who would get the 4th pick, I think Dovey Trapper was a little more than confused about what was happening. When the moment came to see who would get the first pick overall, you can say it was nail-biting time. And when it was announced who had won first choice, Yoni Redler was very happy. And Malcolm Shapiro, well, ordinarily the first selection would get some $1 million contract. The least we could do to make him feel like $1 million and tell him who he is.
Thank you. Kim Nikolaev has selected Shlomi Diamond as the first pick in this draft.
When draft day concluded, we got a chance to speak to some of the captains and get their feelings.
I didn't really want to be a captain, to tell you the truth. But, as soon as I was picked for the job, I decided to take the job. Why not?
We asked Yaakov Menaker why he thought his team should be considered a favorite for the championship.
Because we got the best guys.
It takes a lot more than just good players to win it all. What else does it take?
to be at the game all the time and not punished or anything like that. I hope everybody will cooperate.
Hey, Nutlum, how important are the early season games to you?
Not that important. It's just the game that I think see how my players are going to do, what my lineup's going to be, and all different kind of fundamentals, just as it's like a start off. This exhibition.
Do all captains feel that way?
It's very important to come out the first game and play your hardest, because then you show all the teams around you they're not just coming out playing with a team that doesn't know what they're doing. They're playing as one and playing together and very strong.
We got to win a few of the first games so the teams know that they should know who they're messing with.
I think Zombie Greenberg describes this competition best.
These fields around here, you never know, something can happen.
And one last thing, Zombie. I'm having trouble pronouncing the name of your team. Can you help me?
Yeah, Petrovsk.
Thanks. That's it for draft day. We'll be back later with the sports update. Now for a commercial break.
It's not a question what to drink. It's just which flavor you take.
All agree that Snapple will do more than just get rid of your thirst. With as many flavors that Snapple offers, it could be difficult for even the closest friends to agree which flavor is the best. However, some still try to convince their partner. At times, the dispute gets so heated up that the flavors themselves will fight battle. As Mint and Orangeade face off and prepare to touch gloves, last time they went at it, Orangeade got the victory. As you can see, they are both entering this contest with the same approach, with total concentration and confidence, and only one thing in mind, and that is to knock down their opponent. No matter how big the bottle, it will always go down someplace or another, and as much Snapple you drink, you will always want more, and then some more. So don't just sit there when you could be drinking peach, kiwi strawberry cocktail, Bally Blast, or raspberry, and the list goes on. Made from the best stuff on earth. You can never have enough Snapple, and you are going to make sure that you get the very last drop.
Hey, Mush, why aren't you upset that you struck out?
Because now I can drink my Snapple.
Bornstein, take a rest.
How could you have a foot breaker without Snapple?
Snapple has got to be the second best thing in Morristown, of course, because the first is YSP.
Say, man, you know I'd get something to drink?
What do you think I'm leaning on?
Please.
So the next time you go shopping, make sure to stock up on Snapple.
Without further introduction, it was Gimel Thomas and YSP. We'll have more after this message.
If the Mashiach is ready to come now, it is over.
How does one bring Mashiach? The Rebbe made it very clear to us that by learning in Yanei Geula Mashiach, by davening with more kavanah, by thinking of the words that you are saying, and by putting an extra special effort to spread the light of Torah and Chassidus to every single Jew throughout the world, those are some of the ways to open our eyes and welcome Mashiach.
The Rebbe has told his followers to perform good deeds to show God it is time for the Messiah, whom he says could be revealed at any moment.
There is no place like home, but if you're not home, does it really matter where you are? For a detailed report, let's go to the woods.
No summer is complete without an overnight. So when the boys were notified that the time had come, the first stop was at the council's room to retrieve their flashlights and other objects. When they were done packing and the truck was loaded, it was time to board the buses and head to Limbo Lake Park for the overnight. When we arrived at the site, all went in the direction of the area. Some needed help from friends. Others finally used their heads. There was barely enough time to put down your bags before it was time to put up the tents, or in some cases, attempt to create a tent. Having a tent is not all that's needed for an overnight. Wood is a major component, so it's off to the woods. If you find a log too heavy for one, quickly run for backup to fetch it despite its size. And if you're not the log type of guy, twigs are also needed. There's no having too many twigs. All were engrossed in making their fire possible, whatever it takes. Well, not all. There was one that made sure not to be in the way. When all was said and done, the kids were looking for things to do. How about converting a minivan to a 15-passenger? Those that had tents had what to do. Those that didn't went to the food area, not to eat, but to watch it being prepared, as if they weren't hungry. Guys, you hungry?
Very, very?
Very, very.
What do you want to eat?
I'm
very hungry.
Very hungry.
Not say that too serious.
I'm always hungry.
I understand you're hungry, but how about davening Meir before eating? And once you're davening, might as well have kavanah. Now you're ready to wash up and wait online to obtain scrumptious food from the dedicated staff, which do everything with a smile. Once you had the food, that made you smile. Now you may get into your food. Not like that. Yeah, like that. For some, even seconds wasn't enough.
Triples is coming up right now! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! Let's get started!
Buddy? Adi didn't want to tell us if the meal was filling, but he did send us a before and after picture. When benching was completed, it was time to light the fires. Once they got the fire going, they got him going. There was a great competition as to who had the largest fire.
What other people say, but I know that our fire was the best fire.
Yeah!
And not only that, we started from scratch by 2 sticks. That's what we started it from. And that's what pure nature is. That's what, welcome to the wilderness. Wilderness, right?
When the fire went down, the young voices went up in song, singing some beautiful melodies as the dean came around to share some drinks with the boys. Let's see if we can get someone to share his thoughts about what an overnight is.
Sitting around a fire, singing songs, hearing stories, staying up all night, and having a blast.
The word good is accurate in describing how this overnight was going. Does that mean everyone had a good feeling going to sleep?
No, that just gotta make you feel good. That's gotta make you feel good going to sleep, knowing that you're gonna wake up in like 3 hours. Kid's gonna come complaining that he needs a Band-Aid. Then 2 hours later, you're gonna be chasing him around for the minion. Us. They're gonna come to me so I can send them to Machai because they need a Band-Aid. And then we go tubing, and then we have to gather up all our things and threaten the kids if they don't clean up. Then they're gonna miss the next trip. That doesn't make you feel good. Going to sleep and knowing you have to wake up in 3 hours, that makes you feel good.
Now it's bedtime, or whatever. It was time to sleep, wherever you feel comfortable. When the sun came up, so did the heads, as one began his day as a Hasidic Bacher should, and everybody was up and moving. Ari, how was your night's sleep?
Who told you I slept 3 hours?
3 hours would be good.
I didn't sleep 3 hours, that's a lie.
3 hours would be good.
To sum it up, how was last night?
But Baruch Hashem,
Very successful. Now I need a bed.
Before anything else happens, we must daven shacharis. And only then should we think about what's being served for breakfast. Once you see the breakfast, will that make you smile? Or will you just be too into it? All of the proceeding was only leading up to the tubing trip. Was it fun? Was it cold? Watch Ozzy Duchman's reaction for an idea how cold the water was. But the boys kept on going and going. Do these kids ever run out of energy? I guess you can get tired of having fun. And that's the overnight review for YSP News.
We are uncertain if the stars are out during the overnight. They were all shining for the All-Star game. Let's get the complete recap from our very own analyst.
The fans were there to stargaze. It's the All-Star game, with the starting pitchers Balbovsky versus Hershkowitz. Northern took the early lead in the top of the second. Dovey Trapper led off the inning with a grounder to short, ruled out. Then Yoni Rendler got an infield hit. After Moshe Weiss flew out to center field, Yossi Charlo got another infield hit. Shlomi Diner broke the scoreless tie with a hit to drive in Rendler. Then Zevi Tannenbaum popped out to end the inning. The Southern Conference tried to bounce right back, but Ruben Lakin popped out to begin the inning. And the slugger, who desperately wanted to tie the game with a long ball, struck out swinging. In the top of the third, Northern could have added to their margin, but the right fielder out-hustled the runner to end that attempt. Bottom of the third, this is when Southern came to life. Baruch Weingarten started with a single. He was forced at second, but then came up behind, who lost a fly ball to left, which was misplaced, and after one more hit, Nachum Klar was walked to forcing a run, even though some fans disagreed with the call. But Balbovsky put a stop to the scoring by standing the mixed batter. In the fourth inning, there was no scoring, but in the fifth, Northern came back swinging. Zalman Greenberg led off with a hit which got by the left fielder. Then Rendler popped out, which was followed by Moshe Weiss displaying some pop of his own to put them ahead 2-1. Yossi Charlo failed to bring them home, popping to the catcher. Once again, Southern bounced back. Lakin led with a whisker off the second baseman. Then the big bat was hoping for something to drive. But with runners on first and second, Weingarten hit a base hit up the middle as Goodman reached safety. The bag's full. Hines singled through the hole, but only one run scored there. The third out was made. Oh, by the way, this game was brought to you by M&M Broadcasting. The next inning, Southern got their chance to take the lead, but Shlomo Baumgart reached, but tried to stretch it for a double. Too much stretching, and it's going to snap. The next batter hit a rope off the pitcher's hand, but the tough competitor remained in the game and got Adi Goodman to guide it right. Up came Weingarten to the batter's box and hit a bouncer to third, and he reached safely when the pitcher hit the second. But that rally died with a popper to right. The next inning was a favorable one for Northern. Blackman began with a single. Then Greenberg put down a bunt for a hit. Rendler then lined to center to load them up for Diamond, who flew out. But Yossi Charlo hit a confusing grounder to first to grab the lead. They tried to increase their lead, but Tannenbaum lined to short. Then Southern gave them a big gift when their outfielders collided to make it 5-2. But Balbovsky popped the next pitch to close the scoring. In the bottom of the inning, with Zalman Shapiro on second, Baumgart grounded to short, but on a weak throw he reached, and the first baseman tried to get out the runner trying to advance. The ball got by, allowing Shapiro to score. Catcher Silver hit a greasy ball to the mound, and then Lakin hit a bullet to bring them within one run, but that's as close as they could make it. Top of the ninth, they got the insurance they wanted, but Charles set the table with a bunt. Then Tannenbaum hit a slow roller to third to make it first and second, when Bornstein hit a fly ball, which three outfielders collided but hung on to. After walking the bases loaded, Dovey Trapper walked to force in a run. Following, Greenberg smacked a 2 RBI double to just about nail it down. Time of the ninth, the crowd was anxious when Klar led off with a 2-bagger. Shapiro made out, which moved the runner to third. Lincoln then grounded out. Would he make the final out? Yes, he did, and the celebrating was underway, especially for those who didn't have much to celebrate about during the regular season.
I thought I heard the score was a little higher.
It actually was a lot higher. The final score was 15-10 Northern. I just didn't want to ruin our rating, and if I had showed all the plays, I might have lost some friends as well.
Thanks for the report. In other news, after having game day, it's only fitting to have Mashiach Day. So all the students studied some Mashiach facts. They were then tested. With every fact remembered, they would receive another ticket. It was worth the effort, because with all the tickets came more and more fun at this Mashiach Day Carnival.
With all the fun that's had on campus, it's hard to imagine why anyone would want to hit the road. But when you do, it better be worth it. Let's go for a journey through all the YSP trips. I know you feel you have seen it all, but you haven't seen anything if you haven't seen Kohor.
Okay.
Who already won this war?
Need people who can draw. We need people who can get costumes. We need like what kind of color playwright is this? Nobody stood up for it? Usually. Me? I got 5 years, over 5 hard years to get this job in by me now. Gosh, Lou. See if she's on a fest.
Salvation Army.
No, it's not that way.
Forgive.
A guy. He had so much killed that ring. He was doing. He's having a business deal. $600,000. $600,000.
Backwards, let's go! You know what I'm asking? Oh my God. People start
decided to invest into me. I won't invest anymore. You're getting involved in the car industry. I guess you hadn't seen my new Rolls Royce in the driveway yet, huh?
Environment. To make it an environment involving where is it? Ah, here's my quarter. This is my quarter. Many do not know, Kenny. Had no idea why you were working. Despite all that. Right over here. No, right on.
One big after swore to bring Mashiach.
Yes, you have to learn, and you have to fear yourself spiritually, and the fear is nothing completely.
I'm really having a conversation with God, you know? I've been waiting so long.
I've been waiting too long myself.
any big pussy can come out. I hate the pussy.
Competition for the summer. Let's move to the sports update on the playoff run.
Entering the playoffs, you would have to say that Team Yadi were the favorites to go all the way. But there could be one obstacle in the way, and that would be if they had to play baseball. With their 18-4 record, baseball was by far the weakest sport. So when the raffle for who plays which sport decided that Yadi would play 8th place team with their 8 victories in baseball, many experts gave Lubavitch a legitimate chance, and ultimately, they got the big upset. Team Nikolaev defeated Hadich, which was expected. Yezhin eliminated Mezrich with a last-minute goal to extend their stay. And Team Anapoli knocked off Almaty. In the semifinals, Nikolaev sent Lubavitch packing, and Yezhin surprised the sports world by making it to the championship. The rain on championship day, Yezhin got to play their favorite sport for the 3rd consecutive time, which is hockey. Did that intimidate Nikolaev's captain?
Not at all. I don't think that should be the attitude when you get out there and play the other team.
And what's his message to his team?
We're gonna win.
And what's Yezhin's captain's attitude entering this game?
Well, no one really expected us to get this far in the playoffs or the championship. But we all believed, everybody believed in our team believed in ourselves, and, well, we're in the championship, and whatever happens, happens.
And what's Yezhin's captain's attitude entering this game?
Play hard.
Before we go to face-off, let's ask Liadi's captain for his thoughts on the game.
Well, I think that Niezhin is a very well-balanced team, that they have a lot of players that play well. But Nikolaev has two superstars that if they play smart, they'll win. They have to play a tough defensive game and go on their chances in order to win the game.
Niezhin playing the sport that they're best at. Let's ask the captain who was last defeated if he gives Nikolaev a chance.
Right now, Niezhin is very overconfident, so therefore, if Nikolaev plays very well, they might win. They have a chance.
It was finally game time, and the fans were all enjoying themselves. This was a tough battle with two defensive-minded teams. Niezhin got the first good shot on goal, which was ruled no goal. 7 minutes into the game, Nikolaev grabbed the lead, which excited all the supporters. The key to Nikolaev's game was to shut down Svitavy, which was done up to this point. After one period, Nikolaev goalie was getting all kinds of suggestions, too many in fact. It seems like the only one not nervous was referee Ari. Nikolaev fans were in a happy mood, while the players were quite tense. When Niezhin was trying to clear, Nerv Tvasman said try again and put it by the goalie for a 2-0 lead. In the opening minute of the third period, Svitavy finally scored to make this a close one, and the pressure was on Nikolaev. I mean pressure. With 17 seconds left in the game, the goalie fixes the net instead of watching the puck, and we have a tie game. But in overtime, Nikolaev, with some help of Niezhin, scored the winning goal, and it was joy from there. Celebrating, jumping, showing the teamwork that they had. And Niezhin, only memory of this game is too long to store.
Camp concludes with a grand trip. YSP News went with all the way through. Here are some clips to give you an idea what an experience it was.
Grand trip of YSP 97 is none other than Toronto!
As this newscast concludes, we'll show you some footage which should not go unmentioned or unnoticed.
Thank you.